So, blue collar work has become a pretty hot topic in younger communities throughout the United States, and I'm sure other areas of the West as well. And it does seem to be a little bit of a bounce back to the old, because I feel like blue collar kind of has like a boomer vibe or some type of older generation vibe, where it felt like more people were in those positions, and sort of the white collar corporate jobs, stuff like that, has been sort of a newer thing, because a lot of that's based around stuff like technology and computers and those kind of things that are all brand new. But at the end of the day, Gen Z is seeing a big increase in blue collar workers. People are starting to maybe try getting into their own trades and involving that, and they're also, what they're looking at is maybe starting their own business in these things. And for the most part, that I think has been a pretty good counter to the bad situation a lot of young people have found themselves in, because number one, and we'll just start with the positives here, blue collar work, you tend to take on a lot less debt. Now, I'm sure you can get into business debt and stuff like that if you start your own company and start buying a ton of materials and everything like that, but that is always a gamble that anybody could take starting a business. But for the most part, especially if you're following a trade and working for a company, you could certainly do that for a while and save up for your own business, you would think anyways too. But you should be taking on a lot less debt traditionally, or for the most part, because the schooling isn't as expensive, the training isn't as expensive, and you're also making money typically, from what I understand, in a lot of trades and stuff like that while you're already studying or getting your education, pretty much as you would say in the context of the blue collar work and the trade. So that's a big bonus. I mean, that you can't understate that. You're going to stay out of debt for the most part if you're a blue collar worker. You should certainly have more of a chance to do that. Obviously, be careful going out to buy the brand new truck, because that'll set you back too, but be in less debt, and that's a great start. Blue collar work has also been really an upgrade for a lot of people, because you can definitely be on the anti-AI train in terms of getting replaced when you're taking on a blue collar position. If you look at a lot of the blue collar jobs right now, it's difficult to get replaced as a person in the field. Right now, AI can't use these big tool bags that a lot of tradesmen will carry and go install or reinstall something out there in the physical realm. It cannot use a tool belt or anything like that. So I think in that retrospect, it's kind of very difficult for AI to basically get into a position where it's going to end up taking your job. But a lot of white collar jobs, let's say you were working in coding or database entry, just to name a couple of examples, like in those positions, AI has been very good at putting together numbers and putting together plans and stuff like that, and honestly helping people out and getting them answers very quickly, especially with the language learning models and stuff like that. Those are definitely positions where if you're working in anything where the AI has those skills, going to be a challenge to retain your job as we look forward to the future. But of course, in a blue collar sense, the AI right now just can't pick up a tool belt and go and fix something for people, which is a constant need. Let's say if you're owning a home or building a business and having all these types of things, I mean, you need skilled workers in that sense to come out and help physically. But I think the negative side of the blue collar work, if everybody is going to start chasing that, is I do feel like a lot of people could be limited in their earnings in the long term. And honestly, if you set yourself up, especially now with like staying debt free, you should be able to make plenty of money. But it is hard to say that if you're looking to make the absolute most money, that a lot of blue collar workers are going to be doing that, just from the standpoint that it feels like you'll make good money, but it's going to be hard to make great money. Whereas, let's say, like, unless you are running the business, and at that point almost white collar, like you're on the business front and finding a way to expand your business to this insane level, and it just happens to be, I don't know, a landscaping company, but let's say you somehow took it national and took over, and you've got your lawnmowers rolling throughout everybody's green grass in the States. It's like, yeah, that's how you would turn that into the white collar sense. But you do kind of have to be like on the white collar end to be, let's say, a billionaire or a serious multi-millionaire or something like that. And the good part is not everybody has that aspiration, but I think that's one sense of it. And the other downside of blue collar work, if everybody is going that way, is it might take away opportunities to get into positions of power in the government and things like that. I do feel like with blue collar work, you don't kind of work your way into those other spots. Like, for example, you might be a lot of people in the government, I feel like they come from positions where it's like, oh, they were a lawyer or something like that, or they were heavy on the business side and doing some type of position like that before they slipped into politics or started to work into politics, or they went obviously just into the public office and were kind of studying on whatever way to do that through school. And so if everybody's going blue collar in that sense, you could lose something there. But I would say above all with blue collar, and if you're going down that route, as we get into the future, the most important important thing is going to be protecting your body and protecting yourself as an investment in the long run, if that makes any sense, because I do feel like a lot of people are underestimating the downsides of blue collar work and the trades and stuff like that, which is going to be, of course, your body breaking down. When you're working physically, you know, it's definitely very demanding, and if your body is breaking down, that's definitely going to cost you. It's going to cost you money medically down the long run, and right now, especially in the West, very expensive to get that kind of medical care, so you got to get that figured out. And it also puts more pressure on you to retire and kind of at a younger age, more than likely. So what you're going to have to do is have those funds more directed towards retirement and more directed towards safety in your future in the situation you can't work because of your physical health. So that does put more of a demand on you in that sense. Whereas, of course, with the white collar work, you can kind of be behind the scenes. Maybe you're on a computer, you're making phone calls, you're not necessarily out there in the field fixing stuff. And so in that sense, there is that advantage. And of course, that doesn't take as much on your body in the long run. But I do feel like with the trade system in blue collar kind of revolution that seems to be going on for a lot of younger people, just wanted to talk about some of the positives and negatives in my opinion, and also see if you guys have anything to say about this in the comments section below. And overall, I feel like the trend to go to the trades and stuff like that isn't necessarily bad, especially because, as I just mentioned, the financial issues for a lot of young people and stuff like that is almost forcing you into that. But there is still a give and take, and you have to keep that in mind and think about that as we head towards the future. If everybody is kind of taking one route and potentially send us backwards, in my opinion, if we don't have a good mix of everybody contributing in a lot of different ways and not just going down the same path. But as always, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, and also stay tuned for some more videos as we get back to it here on PM Games.